What's going on, guys? John here, the Wolf of Ecom, and I've got a really exciting video to share with you today, and this is about what most dropshippers fail to realize, especially as they start out, but this is absolutely going to come up later in your journey at some point because dropshipping tends to be very cyclical, right? So the same problems tend to reveal themselves, whether it's 3 months in, 6 months in, 3 years in. You're going to have the same cycles of things. It's like someone on a diet that eventually reaches their weight loss goal. They're gonna have to repeat the same actions, the same problems are gonna come up. They're gonna see weight gain at some point, and they're gonna have to evaluate what's going on in their life and their habits and their actions or lack of, and see why they're getting the results they are, okay? This is absolutely gonna happen to you even after you made a bunch of money and you created some success for yourself, okay? So just be aware of these things. And this is that a lot of things you do will not work. In fact, most things you test will not actually perform, okay? As you get better and better at understanding data, product selection, store design, copywriting, all the soft skills around performance on marketing and e-commerce in general, you will absolutely increase your odds of success with every product you launch and test. But the common question I see pop up in my Facebook group and a lot of other Facebook groups is, hey, this product was working great. I just saw like a post, let me pull it up. Someone said, I love just reading. I get so many good ideas of videos just from reading free Facebook groups because it's like the same typical questions, and you're gonna, if you go from one free Facebook group from the other to the other, like Verum, which has a massive Facebook group, to Ecom Elites, which is Tam Brothers, you're gonna see the same like 20 or 30 questions pop up over and over from newbies and from vets, right? So this person said, I'm not gonna drop their name, hey there, I've got a quick question. The ad sets were performing well while testing about 5 orders a day, but now they've not performed well for 2 days. Could it be due to the learning limit delivery? About 4 hours ago, I've raised the budget from 10 to 15. Is this enough to exit the phase? How long is so many pieces to that? That's like saying like, hey, I stopped seeing the scale move, right? If I'm trying to lose weight, I stopped seeing the scale move. I cut my sleep in half. I double my calories and double my exercise. Why is it not working, right? And this just drives me crazy because you just have to break it down to the basics and the simplistic side of the process when it comes to product research, testing, mid-scaling, right? So when you move into your mid-budgets, and then aggressive scaling if it makes it to that point. And the more, when you get from that, okay, the product is good, right? Or I have strong performance with creatives, high click-through rate, low cost per impression, right? Low CPM, low cost per click. And then, you get into seeing some sales come in, you're testing different audiences. I find that's where the water gets real murky and people struggle a lot because they're really confused with what is or is not working. So the best thing I recommend you do is, well, first of all, get our 4-day launch program because I break down exactly what I do step by step. And in another video, you can also check out my weekly process that I rinse and repeat to create consistency in my business, okay? So if I have one product that's slowly dying off and I can't revive it, I'll have other lines in the water, so to speak, of products that I'm testing actively that, if this main one dies off, I've got the next one I can just ramp up and push. So going back to this point is you have to realize that everything is going to require you to break down what is and isn't working. It's so easy to get hung up on like one metric, or maybe you're not getting sales today or the last 2 days, but maybe you gotta ask yourself why you're not getting sales. A lot of times it's too hard to answer these questions. It's really gonna be product to product, scenario to scenario. But ultimately, I just wanted to make this video to remind you to think back to what the last time you've had something working really well. Okay, or the best performance you've seen on anything if you're new. And just be aware that if you look at the steps that you used, you probably took less actions most of the time to get something to work because it just naturally worked. You put together a great ad, you had a solid product page, maybe you made some tweaks, you got your conversion rate up, you got your average order value up, you got people to spend more by offering bundle discounts or whatever it is, and things just worked. And actually, I find some of the most profitable products are the ones that require the least from you. It's the products that suck you dry of your energy, your creativity, your time and your money that tend to work out the worst, right? So there's products in between that you think you can make work and then they just don't. It's very typical. We all go through it. But I say all this because I want to remind you of, if you haven't had that first win yet, just know it's coming. Just keep the process simple and don't overthink things, which is a huge mistake we make. And then if you have had success before and you're hunting and searching for that again, just think back to what it was like when you had your last product just work. You probably didn't do a bunch of extra stuff just to do stuff, to try to force things. The product just worked, and that's really what you want to be looking for. You want something that's working to, showing good signs, whether it be those initial creative performance based on your CPMs, your CTRs, your CPCs, or maybe you're having cheap add to carts, or maybe you're having purchases but you're not profitable. Now you just want to look at exactly what about that part of the process is or isn't working, because usually that's where you'll find your answer. Just to walk through it, if your CPMs are high, if your click-through rates are low, your ad stinks, right? Could be the audiences you're targeting, but more often than not, it's going to be just your video isn't very good, or your image doesn't really speak, or your copy stinks, or a combination of all of them. If you're getting really cheap clicks, you're getting really good CPMs. That means your ad is matching with your audience and the product makes sense for them. But then let's say your add to carts is double what it needs to be. Let's say to make money, if half your add to carts purchase, you need, let's say $10 add to carts or $5 add to carts, and you're getting $20 add to carts, it's something on the page, right? This is just a step-by-step breakdown of diagnosing what is or is not working. So looking at it next, how do we get our add to carts to increase? Maybe it's better copy, maybe we change up the price point, maybe we add more reviews, maybe we change up the product images. There's a million things you do. You just have to try one or two things. And let's say you're getting cheap add to carts, but no one's purchasing. Maybe you need to test free shipping, or maybe there's something wrong with your checkout, right? It could be a lot of things, but this is the thought process you have to go through, and just remind yourself of that, because it's so easy to get stuck in a rut with this stuff, and then you just start seeing yourself lose a bunch of money and nothing works. So sometimes just pausing everything, if nothing's working right now for you, sometimes just pausing everything and starting fresh will do the best thing for you. Okay, so I hope this helps. I hope this really gave you perspective. I know this is a message I need to constantly remind myself of, because I'm human just like you, and I'm a dropshipper just like you as well. All right, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.